Wonderful.
All right, that's good. Okay, so today my group and I will be presenting on long-term memory. Let me introduce my group first. So there's Ravina, Galvin, Mohana, Chloe, and Nur Mahmuda. So, yeah. Can you imagine your life without long-term memory or any memory? It's like you being born, a newborn every day. You won't have any memory, you won't have no experience, nothing. So let me get to what long-term memory is. Next slide, please. Thank you.
Shh.
So what is long-term memory? So long-term memory is a system for permanent storing of memories, experience, whatever happens in your daily life, and then managing and retrieving that information whenever you need it. It could be involuntary action or it could be a voluntary action. It depends. So yes, I have an incredible memory, but as long as I remember to use it. Are you guys using it all well? How's your memory? Is it good? Okay, so now I would like to pass on to Mohana to give an overview on what long-term memory is.
So I'm going to give a brief overview of long-term memory. Basically, long-term memory can be divided into two groups, which are declarative memory and procedural memory. Declarative memory basically means you know things that you know that you can tell others. And procedural memory are things that you know that you can show by doing. So under declarative memory, we have episodic memory and semantic memory, which episodic memory basically means events, your personal experiences that you can recall. For example, like this birthday party that you invited all your friends but nobody turned up. So you can recall that really easily. And also semantic memory, basically general knowledge. Everyone knows it. Like, for example, the tallest mountain on earth. And procedural memory is a memory that is automatic. You know how to do something. It's a manual. So it's like riding a bike or playing baseball, something like that. So that's basically a brief overview. Next, I'll pass it to Mahmuda.
Okay, I'll be talking about the retrieval in long-term memory. So how do we retrieve our long-term memory? Like you guys know, there are two types of memory, which is the explicit memory and the implicit memory. So for the first one is the declarative memory. Declarative memory is, for example, like after you wake up, you know that you have to go to the bathroom, you have to brush your teeth and all. So first of all, you can recall. Recall is when you do not receive any retrieval cues, such as you do not have any information about what is that object or person until you encounter them themselves. Then the second one is by recognition. Recognition is, for example, when you take MCQ questions from that list of choices of answers, you know what is the answer when you watch them. But if you do not open the answer yet, you feel anxious and all. But after you have looked it, then you know from the 4 choices of question which is the answer. Then relearning. We all know that relearning is basically the same as revising, such as you learn back what you studied today in college at the same day, or you can do in another day at the same week. Then the second one is how you retrieve your procedural memory. So procedural memory, it happens in your unconscious mind, such as when you wake up, you do the things that you usually do. It's a habit. And also, you can access the memory indirectly. You don't have to like encounter the thing. It happens whenever you're just maybe after you wake up, or you just it happens spontaneously. And then we have how the memory is revealed without the conscious effort to remember. Okay, so for the declarative memory, we should do some effort. If we don't do the effort, we would not get to the object or the person that we are trying to recall or recognize. But with the procedural memory, we would not need to squeeze or brainstorm.
Very nice. involve long-term memory. So the first one will be amnesia, which is known to be a partial or full loss of memory. And this disease actually occurs around the age of between 40 to 80, which is an average of about 60 years old. So there's two types of amnesia. The first one will be retrograde amnesia, which is a loss of memory for events prior to getting the disease. And then anterograde amnesia will be the loss of ability to form memories after getting the disease. So other than that, I chose to talk about eyewitness testimony, which I found really interesting. So basically what this is the account given by people of an event that they have witnessed. So the eyewitness testimony is usually used in courtroom settings in aiding the judge to decide if the criminal is guilty of charge or not. And there's actually an American psychologist known as, her name was Elizabeth F. Loftus, and she was known to actually study how our memory naturally alter itself after events, crimes that happen. And it was found that there's three factors that actually affect the memory. The first one will be anxiety and stress. So when events naturally happen, they are very emotional, or they actually impact how we feel. So our emotions play a large part of whether we are able to recall the memory and how much of it we can remember. So there's actually many studies that contradict one another. Some studies do say that after witnessing a traumatic event, you tend to remember it more because you're so impactful that you remember every detail, you can't stop thinking about it. But other than that, some studies also do say that because the event was so traumatic, you're unable to actually recall what really happened during the event. So the second factor that affects our memory is reconstructive memory. So our brain naturally reconstruct and reproduce memory that we go through. So sometimes things that feels real isn't actually real, and somehow we justify what we see in our head. So everything that we see, we interpret it in a different way, so it could actually alter what really happened. And the last factor that affects is leading questions. So there was actually an experiment conducted where two groups of people were asked to watch a film about an accident. After the film, one group was asked the question, how fast did the car smash into each other, while the other group was asked, how fast did the car hit into each other. So notice the difference between the keyword smash and the keyword hit. And it was found that the group of people that will use the keyword smashed on were more likely to say that the car smashed into each other faster. So that plays an effect to eyewitness testimony, which is why they say that it's not very reliable in courtroom cases.
Alright, so I'll be talking about certain strategies that you can actually help enhance your long-term memory. So first one will be chewing gum. We all know chewing gum while reviewing materials can help us remember things better. But why is that? So research done is that it increases activity in the hippocampus, which is an area in your brain responsible for memory. And secondly, it actually increases oxygen, which helps you focus and have better attention when you study. Second of all, sufficient sleep. Sleep is proven to be one of the most important elements for you to have better long-term memory, because this is where the memory consolidation process occurs. So research also conducted studies that people who sleep after reviewing a material can actually remember better than those who don't. So if you're thinking of not sleeping for the whole all-nighter just to study for an exam tomorrow, don't do that. Lastly, eating berries. I find this very interesting because a study, it's not very new, it's a very new study, so it cannot be a solid bet that it will 100% make you remember and have beneficial long-term memory. So actually eating berries can help you strengthen connections in your brain because of this plant chemical found in blueberries, specifically blueberries, because it's called flavonoid, which is responsible for vivid colors and also beneficial for long-term memory. But more research is to be done. So I would like to pass my time to Gavin to conclude.
So in summary, my group members have talked about amnesia, strategies to enhance long-term memory, as well as eyewitness testimony in this presentation. So now I would like to conclude this presentation by talking about the importance of long-term memory. So the first reason why long-term memory is very important to us is because it acts as a permanent storage for us as human beings, as well as it helps us to recall information for later use. So this will allow us to make the correct decisions and the correct answers. So that's all we have for our presentation today. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Started.